What's up, everybody? Coach Mike here for some more information. I am a functional strength training coach, a certified correctional exercise specialist. And today I want to talk to you about something that's super important, and that'll be the well-rounded balance of strength training. Now, going into it for today, we're going to figure out what strength training is and why that's important. We're going to figure out what corrective exercise is, why that's important, how that prevents injury, how that also builds muscle mass, your mobility and flexibility training, how that makes you stronger as a whole, and how all these things tie in together to have a well-balanced workout program. All right, going into our first part, what is strength training and how is it good for your body? Now, strength training is overall about building muscle and the body's ability to remain resilient against external forces. So whether you're running, you're walking, you're jumping, you fall, whatever that may be, we want to make sure the body is strong enough and fortified to do those things. Now, this is also really good for muscle endurance. It's also really good for stability, and it's also really good for making lean muscle mass. Now, when you get lean muscle mass, it helps boost your metabolism. So already it's burning your fat. It's giving you more energy. It helps strengthen your bones. It reduces your ability to get hurt. It reduces the rate of injury. It also improves your overall athletics and personal performance, your quality of life, whether that be your athlete or whether that be you're somebody who's going for day to day. No matter what your goals are, whether it's lose weight, whether it's to jump higher, whether it's to walk a little bit further, strength training is the key to adding a higher quality to your life and your fun. Right, now we're going to talk about corrective exercise. Now, corrective exercise helps a trainer or helps you design specific things tailored to your body and your imbalances that you may have. Now, a lot of times people have these imbalances and they have these tightnesses and they have these muscle soreness because their muscles aren't firing in the right way, or their muscle sequence is firing off, or that's causing a lot of pain or discomfort or tightness and so on and so forth, just like I said. Now, how does corrective exercise help? Well, it helps improve stability and mobility. It helps strengthen underused muscles, and it helps you move more efficiently and effectively. Now, let me give you an example. So, a core. Now, let's say your low back's hurting. Actually, you know what? We always talk about core. Let's talk about your knee. So everything goes into your knee. So your quads, all the 4 muscles that go into your quads, all the 3 muscles that goes into your hamstrings. Let's say one of them's a little tight. Let's say one of them's a little weak. Everything that goes into that knee sits here and here. So if it's tight, it's going to pull that knee off track. Or it's going to cause some clicking, it's going to cause some popping, it's going to cause some pain, it's going to cause some tightness, and it's going to cause instability in there. Now, once all of those muscles into that knee that sit here and here are fitting nice and perfect the way they should, your knee is going to move and function the way it should. But if it's not, it's going to throw that knee off balance here, here, or here. And that's how people can get an injury. That's how people can get tweaks. That's how people can get pulls or strains. So corrective exercise helps balance out the body to help you work more effectively, more efficiently, and to have better function. Third aspect, which is our mobility and flexibility training. Now, the deeper we go on this, it'll help you activate those muscle fibers. It'll help you also keep the muscles really loose. Now, the best way that I was taught is, let's say you have a brick, let's say you have a wood plank. You throw the brick at the wood plank, it's going to be very hard, it's going to be very rigid. Now, let's say you have a brick and then you have a pillow. Once you throw the brick at the pillow, the weight and the pressure is going to dissipate through the pillow. Same kind of way your muscles work. The more tight and the more rigid and the more locked up your muscles are, whenever you try to go for a lift or whenever you try to go for a squat, it's going to be easier for you to pull those muscles and for them to get injured. But the more flexible you are, the more pliable those muscles are. It's going to be easier for force to be dissipated throughout the muscle, so you don't get those injuries, you don't get those tweaks, and you don't get those pulls. Also, mobility is super important for your joints. If you're not being mobile, if you already live a sedentary lifestyle and those joints are locked up, they're going to get more and more stiff. Once you work on the mobility in those joints, it'll self-lubricate and you'll be moving more freely, help out with your function, and help out with your quality of life. All right, so we talked about strength training, we've talked about the corrective exercise aspect, and we've talked about the mobility and flexibility training. So how does this all tie into a bigger picture? Now, let's say you hit the gym. Let's say we're working on our bench press. Boom, we have 225 on the barbell, which is great numbers. The stronger those big muscle groups get, those prime movers, our pecs, our triceps, the gap between our big muscle groups and then our stabilizers, like our infraspinators, our subspinators, all the muscles in our rotator cuff, all the itty bitty muscles in our shoulder that keeps everything locked in and tight. That gap gets bigger and bigger because we don't work on them. So you have your strength, which is your bench press. Now you have the corrective exercise, such as the bottoms up press. Maybe you have your band pull aparts with a mid back squeeze. Maybe you even have a band pull down, working on those stabilizers specifically. That's going to help you with your overall strength. Now, we're going to tie in the mobility and flexibility aspect. So boom, we have the big muscles. Boom, we have our stabilizers nice and strong. I want to be able to make sure our joints are mobile and has full range of motion. I want to be able to make sure our muscles are nice and pliable. So when I am lifting those weights, it can dissipate throughout my body and I can reduce my risk of injury. I can increase my quality of life. I can increase my workouts. I can increase my injury, and I can put on some lean muscle mass and have a well-balanced body. Like always, Coach Mike here signing out. If you guys do like videos like this, if you guys like the information that I give you and you want more, feel free to comment, subscribe, like.